In just 2 years, FinStreet has become one of the top institutes in India who offers US CMA. And in this video, I want to share the story behind our success. What was our vision when we started FinStreet Education? How we were able to achieve this success? What was the recipe behind it? And secondly, what you can expect from us in coming times. Starting from the very beginning, why we started FinStreet Education. See, back in 2015, when I started my education in the field of commerce, I had a very simple idea. Let me complete my BCom, learn about commerce, learn about business, and then make a career out of it, specifically with my keen interest in finance. When I started studying BCom, I realized that there is a gap between what academics offers versus what is required in the industry. And to be honest, I could completely see the trend for certifications then coming into the picture. Because when the BCom curriculum or BBA curriculum or BAc curriculum is not keeping up, you need to value the time that you have. Between the age of 18 and 21, it is your prime time to build your career, to build some value that you can go in the market and encash when you are employable, when you can get a job. So with this vision, I decided, okay, let me make something out of my time. And then my mentors guided me towards pursuing certifications. Now here comes into picture two type of options or certifications. First is Indian and second is international. Initially, I scanned all the Indian certifications and there were three major concerns I realized. First, the passing rate. Now any exam in this world, when I talk about professional exams, not competitive exams, professional exams, worldwide international exams has a passing rate of around 40 to 50%. But India is one of those few countries where passing rate is as low as just 10 to 15%. And somewhere I felt, okay, that was unreasonable. Secondly, when I started studying the curriculum, I got to know that the curriculum isn't rocket science, but the competition is. So no matter how much effort I put in, and no matter how much correct my answer is, just because for sake of keeping the result at 10% or 15%, I felt Indian exams weren't doing justice to effort of a lot of students. And third thing, when it came to time required to complete Indian certifications, it was at least 3 to 4 years with significant risk of failing a group or an exam and reattempting the exam again. So this led me to foreign courses or international courses, where I came across a couple of certifications, and then it came down to finding the best certifications. And here comes the US CMA. See, whenever I start a batch at FinStreet Education, I always ask students one simple question: why you chose US CMA? And here are three things which students highlight to me. First is, it is one of those certifications which is reasonable in terms of passing. Second, it is one of the most affordable international courses. If I check any other certification, it will cost more than 2 to 3 lakh rupees, with exception of US CMA, which costs somewhere around 1 to 1.5 lakh. And third, one of the most significant reasons, US CMA is a course that actually delivers value, both from accounting perspective and finance perspective. With this in mind, I decided, let me pursue US CMA and then go ahead and start teaching US CMA. And one day, I am going to open an institute where I will mentor such a CMA who will stand out against all CMAs as one of the best finance professionals. With this vision, we started FinStreet Education in November 2023. Now starting with our name, FinStreet Education. What does FinStreet stand for? Well, there's a nice story behind it. When I was looking for a name for this institute where I'm putting my heart, into teaching, I had one simple question, that what will reflect my ambition? I had multiple names, and typically, as any other financial class starts with the name Fin or the phrase Fin, I was also interested to take that up. But I was unable to find a name that was reflecting my potential or reflecting my ambition. Eventually, when I was brainstorming this with some of my friends who are working in investment banking, who are working in business finance, who are working in corporate finance, they asked me, Aditya, where do you see your students work eventually, get employed eventually? And I said, the best place to work would be at Dalal Street or a Wall Street. Major investment banks are over here. Headquarters of major MNCs is also over here. The real business happens on Dalal Street in India and on Wall Street when it comes to global finance. And then it struck me, why don't we create finance professionals who are built for Dalal Street and Wall Street? And this is how FinStreet Education came into existence. After we went live, we started with US CMA, one of my favorite courses which I think has a lot of value to unlock. There were 4 major benefits that the institute highlights, that the market highlights, which I will now highlight. First one is, it's a global course recognized in more than 150 countries. A course that you can just complete in 6 to 9 months. a course that can avail you a salary premium of more than 20%, and a course that can help you land a job in a multinational company. Which obviously raises a question that, Aditya, what would be an average package for a US CMA candidate? So here you go. If you are talking about a fresher CMA qualified candidate, qualified means you have completed your graduation and you have passed both parts, US CMA Part 1 and Part 2. For such a candidate, average package is somewhere between 4 lakh and 6 lakh per annum. If I talk about a certified professional, someone who has more than 2 years of experience along with US CMA exams passed, you can expect a package somewhere between 8 lakh and 12 lakh rupees. And if I talk about a senior professional who has more than 5 years of experience, then there isn't a range as such. Over here, your package would depend on number of promotions you have, number of switch you have taken. But to give you a tentative average, you can expect a salary in the range of 15 lakh rupees to 25 lakh rupees, but this is not a restricted range. You can go beyond this as well. But when we are expecting this premium salary, what kind of roles we can expect? So over here, one major role where US CMAs work is FP&A, Financial Planning and Analysis, where you start your career as an analyst or an associate. Then you can target due diligence roles, you can target business analysis roles, you can target controllership roles, you can target risk manager roles, and a long list of roles that come under CFO vertical. Wherever a company has a CFO in place, any role that comes under the CFO is a place where CMA can get placed successfully. Now coming to the main part, if you're someone who's interested in pursuing US CMA, here's the eligibility. You need to pass at least 12th standard. At times we also call it plus 2. So after completing your plus 2 or 12th standard, you can start with your preparation for CMA exams. You have CMA Part 1 and you have CMA Part 2. Now there is no restriction as such that you have to give CMA Part 1 first, then only Part 2. If you are interested in accounts and costing, I would recommend go ahead with Part 1. If you are interested in finance, economics, strategy, then go ahead with Part 2. Coming to the exam schedule or exam part, see, you need overall preparation of just 4 to 5 months, where you need to study the whole curriculum, sit for tests, mock exams, and then you can go for your exam finally. But when we talk about the exam structure, this is quite interesting. See, the exam is overall of 4 hours, where initially you are given just 3 hours. In these 3 hours, you will be given 100 MCQs, which amount for 375 marks. In these 3 hours, if you are able to get more than 50% of the MCQs correct in these initial 3 hours, then at the same time, during your exam, you will be given additional 1 hour, where you have to solve 2 case studies, and these 2 case studies amount for 125 marks. So your overall exam is for 500 marks. MCQ being for 375, case studies being for 125. These case studies need a written answer and not specifically or manually written, rather typed answer. So imagine a huge paragraph or a case study that comes to you with first question asking for some reference, second question asking for some reference, third question asking for some reference, and then solutions. So over here you have to type out your answer and then submit. By the way, when can you sit for these exams? Well, there are 3 windows. You have Jan, Feb, May, June, and September, October. Now you have complete 2-month period whenever you want to sit for an exam. So when do you exactly go? Well, it is quite similar to booking a sit in a cinema hall. Whenever you think that you are ready, you can go on their portal, pay the exam fees, and book a sit for yourself, but subject to availability on that specific day and that specific slot. But whenever you are ready, you can book your exam, go and sit for the exam. By the way, did I tell you that our first batch at FinStreet Education had achieved 100% passing rate? So here's an interesting story behind this. See, when I started teaching US CMA, in my first batch, I had 5 girls from BCom who were learning US CMA. Now, one of these candidates said that, sir, I want to travel outside for my MBA, and she dropped off. But remaining 4 candidates went for the exam, passed the exam successfully. And that's how we landed our first result of 100%. And out of those 4 candidates, 3 of them actually got placed within 3 months. One of them got placed in Barclays, second in Alliance Bernstein, and third in Syngenta. And that was just the starting point. By the time we completed our first year, we were awarded with silver badge as well as gold badge in record time by IMA, Institute of Management Accountants, that offers US CMA. Secondly, our passing percentage average for all batches was around 92%, plus the placement success rate was around 70%. making sure that we live up to the expectation of our candidates. And here's the secret sauce behind how we operate at FinStreet Education. See, if I had to draw a typical week at FinStreet Education, here is how it looks like. On Saturday, Sunday, we start with our classes, 3 hours each, 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. But on Sunday, I give you an assignment that includes follow-up learning. So whatever I've taught you in class on Saturday and Sunday, based on that, you will be given an assignment to read from textbook and to solve some MCQs from your question portal. You will have time from Monday till Wednesday to complete your assignment. Now, whatever doubts you have, you can submit it to us through our Google Drive. On Thursday, we take something called as DSS, doubt solving session, which is live. A faculty will come on a call, resolve all your doubts to make sure that learning is up to the mark. Now, whatever we have completed from Saturday till Thursday, through live lectures, through assignment, and through doubt solving session, all this will be tested on Friday. So every Friday, we have something called as weekly test. And you get your result for weekly test on Monday. So from Friday till Sunday, you can appear for this test. On Monday, there is a leaders list or leaderboard created where we will showcase your overall performance. And this routine, this mechanism continues for a period of 4 to 5 months where you are able to complete one part. So when it comes to completing US CMA, you need discipline, you need consistency, and you will have my support, our support, whenever you need guidance, mentorship in your preparation. But does our offerings go beyond that? Yes. See, once you complete one part, it can be part 1 at the beginning or part 2 at the beginning, you will have a break of 45 days till the time you get your result. So in this 45 days, we have curated something called as Campus to Corporate for students. Just to highlight what do we cover under this, first thing is we build your profile. We focus on your personal branding on LinkedIn. Also, we review your skills and we ask you to develop them further. We take care of extracurricular activities, academic activities, virtual projects, internships, and eventually we take you to something called as Placement Bootcamp. Now, Placement Bootcamp was initially curated for working professionals, but now we have connected the program. So once you complete your Campus to Corporate, for drafting your CV, for mock interviews and making you industry ready, we conduct something called as Placement Bootcamp. Once your Placement Bootcamp is over, by this time you also get your result. Once your result is out, there is a review form, there is a feedback form given on things you need to work on, plus you can start preparation of the next part immediately. And lastly, coming to what all programs do we offer, our first program is Classroom program, which is currently available only in Pune. You can join our Classroom program, attend lectures and experience our learning. Second program is Virtual program, where students join on a Zoom call where I teach and our faculty members teach US CMA program. And third program is Self-paced learning, where you will get access to our recordings, both conceptual lectures plus doubt solving lectures, and after that the student can go and appear for the exam. Along with this, there are 6 free certifications we are offering free of cost to make sure that your profile is market ready. The 6 certifications are displayed on your screen right now, and don't worry, we are adding more certifications to make sure that you outstand in the competition and able to win best opportunities in the market. And to conclude, I'll just say one thing. See, when it comes to curating someone's career, it needs a strong plan. It needs dedicated guidance and mentorship. So when it comes to curating your career, let's build it together. If you're interested in pursuing US CMA, there's a number on your screen. Just get in touch with our team and we are more than happy to assist you. See you in class soon.